In this video, I'm going to show you how to create conditions within your forms. So you might have questions within your forms that either qualify or disqualify leads, or they may be questions where you would like whatever answer they choose to lead them down a different path within your form. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. So let's navigate over to our forms by clicking on Forms on the left-hand side. And then I'm going to click back into my form that we've been working on. And now I'm going to start adding conditions to this form. We have this form that is an application page, and at around question 3 is where we can start disqualifying leads. If they're not ready to work with us, we might just want to send them to a different ending entirely that says, oh, sorry, you're not ready to work with us, so we're not going to waste your time, we're not going to waste our time. We'll send you somewhere else though. So what we actually want to do is add a different ending to this form. We currently have our default ending, which says, thanks for completing the form. You can go ahead and customize that to your heart's content by clicking on the settings, and you can change the success message, or you can have a redirect to a different page that takes them somewhere else. So currently we're just going to leave it as a success message, and we're going to leave it as thank you for completing the form. But I want to add a different ending to this form so that I have somewhere to send any leads I want to disqualify from completing this form. So I'm going to go ahead and come here to my questions, and I'm going to say add ending, and I'm just going to call this one goodbye. So you are the weakest link, goodbye. I'm going to leave it as a success message as well, and I am just going to say you are the weakest link, goodbye. All right, obviously you're going to not do that, but this is just to keep me entertained. So I'm going to say save, and there we go. So now we have our two different endings, our default ending and our goodbye ending. So now to create a condition to disqualify leads and send them to the different ending, I'm going to come here to the top right-hand side and click on conditions. Now, when I click on that, you're going to see all of these conditions, and this might look a little bit overwhelming to you at first, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually navigate this. So the question I'm wanting to add a condition to is our third question over here, which best describes you. So you'll see that our condition says always go to the next question, and this is relevant to each of these questions. They're always sending us to the next question in the form. But in this case, I don't actually want them to always be sent to the next question. So instead, I'm going to say always go to next question, except in the condition that the answer is not ready. So you'll see when which best describes you is not ready, then go to, and I'm going to select the goodbye ending, and there we go. So in all other cases, we're going to go to the next question. So for anyone who is getting there or they're super ready, they're going to be sent to the next question, which is telling them more about their situation. Now, there is another place in this form where you might want to add another condition, and that is with our preferred contact method. Because within our preferred contact method, what we have is our 4 different types of contact methods. So if I exit out of my conditions and I come here to question 5, you'll see that we've got Zoom, Teams, Skype, and phone. And for our Skype and phone answers, we're going to need to collect extra information. So what I want to do is quickly add 2 different questions. So I'm going to come here to my questions. I'm going to add a question. I'm going to say Skype username. And that's not how you spell Skype. It's got an E. Then I'm going to select a custom field. It's going to be a text field. I'm going to say, yes, it is required. And then I'm going to hit save. And so now I want to just move this I understand checkbox to the bottom. And I also want to add another question that is going to collect the contact phone number, so that if they do want to be phoned instead of any of those other methods, we are going to have that number for them. So I can add a question, and I'm going to say phone number. I'm going to select the type, and now here for phone numbers, I can either select a custom field, and I can select the phone number option over here, or I can use the profile field, and I can choose the phone number here. So I'm going to make sure that this is a profile field actually, so that I always have that contact information exactly where I need it. And again, I'm going to make this required, and I'm going to hit save. And again, I'm just going to move that above the I understand checkbox question. So now I want to customize those conditions once again, so that I'm not sending absolutely all of my users through these 2 questions when they've selected Zoom as their preferred contact method, for example. So I'm going to come here to my conditions, and I'm going to scroll down, and I didn't save my conditions here with which best describes you. So I'm going to quickly do that, and you don't have to struggle about anything else. Then go to the goodbye and then in all other cases, go to the next question. All right, so remember to always scroll down and hit save when you're creating your conditions, because I did not do that. All right, then I'm going to come to my preferred contact method, and what I'm going to do here is change the condition. So I want to add a condition, and I'm going to say when your preferred contact method is Skype, then go to the Skype username question. In all other cases, go to the next question. I don't actually want that to be enabled. So in all other cases, we don't want that, but I am going to add another condition to this question, because currently we're just sending one person off to Skype and everyone else is going to go to the Skype username. We don't want that, but I'm going to add another condition quickly. And if your preferred contact method is your phone number, then we're going to go and send them to the phone number question over there. In all other cases, we're going to send them off to the I understand question. So now in these two scenarios, they're going to be sent to the relevant question, but in the Zoom and Teams scenarios, they're going to be sent to the I understand question. So they're going to skip these two and be sent straight there. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and now those conditions have been created. So now I can go through this and I can test it for myself. So I'm actually going to come here and I'm going to preview this, and I'm going to enter some information. So let's say betty@demo.com, and I hit next. I'm then going to put in my first name. That's going to be Betty, and I'm going to hit next. I'm then going to select, no, actually I'm not ready. And I'm going to submit that, and you'll see that I've been taken to the "You are the weakest link, goodbye," and that is my ending. So that condition is currently working. But if I want to test my other conditions, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to preview this. Let's go again with betty@demo.com, hit next. My first name is Betty, and again, I'm going to hit next. I am super ready, and that's going to take me to the next question. I'm now going to just type in a little bit of gobbledygook, and I'm going to say next, at least 50 characters. Remember, we set that up in the previous video, so I actually need to add at least 50 characters in order for this answer to be sufficient. So I'm just going to type away really hard there, and then I'm going to hit next. Then I can choose my preferred contact method. So if I come here and I say I want to be contacted via Skype, and I say next, it's going to take me to my Skype username. Again, I can just put in some information, say next, and oh, I have an issue over here, because when I go to my Skype username, I don't want to be taken to the phone number after that. I want to be taken to the next ending. So I actually need to go back to my conditions and change those settings. So I'm going to exit out of my preview. I'm going to come to conditions, and I'm going to scroll down to my Skype question. So here in Skype username, I need to add a new condition. So this isn't always going to go to the next question. Instead, it's going to go, I don't need to add a condition, I actually just need to change the condition. So it's always going to go to the I understand question. So it's not going to always take me to the phone number. We want to skip that. We want to go to I understand. So once they have entered their Skype username, it's going to take us to I understand. We don't need to do that for question 7, because that is going to take us exactly where we need to go. So it's always important to test your forms when you're using conditions like this, so that if there is a mistake like that, you catch it. So now if I hit save and I go through this form again, I'm going to preview. We're going to do this as quickly as possible, so that you don't suffer through this for too long. All right, next. I am super ready. Next. All of the information about my situation. There we go. Next. My preferred contact method. We'll go for the phone number this time. And, well, actually, let's go for the Skype so that we can make sure that this is working. And again, just some information. Next. And then it's taking me to my form, my understand question. And I can hit that and submit, and it will take me to my original ending. So that is the basics of creating conditions within your forms. Now, again, it does seem quite complicated, but if you are going to be using conditions like this, take your time setting them up and take your time testing those conditions as well. Don't rush through it. Make sure that everything works, always test it, and then you'll be able to set up forms and questionnaires that can really take your clients through unique journeys within the form. So that is how you can set up conditions within your forms. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to share your forms with your users. I'll see you there.